Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started. You remind me of the Babe.
What Babe?
Babe with the power.
What power?
Power of hoodoo.
Hoodoo?
Voodoo.
Do what?
Remind me of the Babe.
I saw my baby trying hard as babe could cry. What could I do? My baby's love had gone and left my baby blue. Nobody knew.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras, whatever you want. I'll just come and sing. I love to sing. And you know what? I've been very inspired by my buddy, David Bowie, on the David Bowie channel on SiriusXM. It has been giving me a constant stream of inspiration. I've actually even been branching out and getting more songs off the internets that I didn't even know existed. He's got so many albums, like 27 studio albums. It's crazy. But always been a fan, always been inspired by people like him who were bold and audacious and, had the gall to just kind of make their own path and do their own thing and not be held back, not be like caught up in the noise, the chatter of people saying, oh, you shouldn't do that because if you did that, well, people might think this. He didn't give a shit about that. He just did his thing. He listened to his internal voice more than, almost any other musical artist out there. And that's why today we're going to be talking a little bit about that inner voice, listening to not your gut, but your little inner artist, the inspiration, where that comes from, what you're actually supposed to be doing, what you feel like you're brought here to convey with your art. And, I had to do this one on the fly. We had we had a cancellation last minute on an episode that will be postponed for next week. But I wanted to make sure that I got another episode out today. And I thought, hey, what better thing to talk about than inspiration and listening to our inner artistic voice. And I've been so inspired recently by listening to Bowie that it's just really sparked a lot of creativity in me. It sparked a lot of inspiration to kind of push myself and go even further and also get back in touch with some of my roots. I've been knocked back a little bit by injuries and certain things, certain health conditions that have been holding me back a little bit, kind of limiting me to what I can do. And I've really been spending a lot of time kind of focusing my mind on rising up and pushing through those things and healing. And I'm not there yet 100%, but I'm getting close and I'm feeling better and I'm feeling that drive to get back out there and really do some new stuff, some bigger stuff, revisit some older stuff, and to push the envelope a little bit, which is just a great feeling. It's a great feeling when you're kind of like jazzed and turned on by these ideas and you can't wait to get back in the studio. Sometimes, as a professional artist, it can feel like work, right? It is work. You have to get out there and create. You got to get out there and almost fabricate a little bit of the inspiration some days, or at least just get started and then wait for it to strike. But there's no better feeling for an artist than not being able to wait to get into the studio to create, because you've got all these ideas just exploding out of your head going like, you need to do this, you need to do this. So be on the lookout for some cool new pieces from me on Instagram and socials. And I'm going to be doing some big stuff. I'm going to be doing some more cool, different assemblage stuff. I might even be revisiting some old pop surrealist stuff. And I'm just going to be kind of pushing everything and pushing myself to develop and, even redefine myself. I've had so many, part of the reason why I relate to Bowie, and I'm not considering myself even anywhere in the league of Bowie, obviously, but just something that I've kind of done in my own career and that I've liked to do and I've been inspired to do is not define yourself by any certain genre. And now we talked about this a little bit last week, how he redefined himself, the Thin White Duke, the Ziggy Stardust, all these things. The Goblin King, even from Labyrinth, which is a callback to what I was singing at the beginning. Well, I felt like I've had some of that in my own life. I was like an actor and a singer in a band, a punk ska band. And then I was an artist always through that. And I was an athlete. And then I did some like voiceover work. And then when I went into and dove into my artistic career even more so and really focused in on that, I went from like focusing on pop surrealism, figurative stuff, like really heavily for about 14 years, and then just kind of switching it up into these colorful, vibrant, textured abstract works, oil paintings, then acrylic paintings. Then I started doing subgenres of like fluid stuff and assemblage stuff and geometrical stuff. And I just felt like, why limit yourself? These are all parts of me that were like screaming to come out. And I've given each one its due time. So that's what I'm kind of trying to convey today is don't be afraid if you have these inner voices telling you, look, you need to be doing this. This is what I want. This is what I want to be doing if nobody else was telling me otherwise. That could be a teacher. That could be a family member. That could be a friend. That could be artist friends. That could be just stuff that you've read about the arts, staying in a specific genre and like playing that until it's just played out. I don't think you have to listen to that. As long as you have and you're staying true to yourself and your creativity, as long as you are developing a signature style with any of those genres or subgenres, then you're doing fine and you're doing yourself and you're doing your art justice. So basically, I'm challenging you to think about what would you do if you had all the money in the world, all the resources, none of the fear, none of the old records playing in your head of what you can and can't do as an artist. What would you create if you had all that? What would be the thing that turned you on to get in the studio and bust that out? Maybe it's something completely different. Maybe it's something that you are almost like ashamed to say, or maybe it's really political, or maybe it's controversial, or maybe it's some sort of performance art thing. Who knows? But whatever that is, I challenge you to visit that. I challenge you to listen to that voice, and I challenge you to give it its day in court and, really go for it and see how it feels. And, maybe it's just an experiment. Maybe you go, oh, you know what? It didn't work for me. Great. Now I've got that out of my system and I can go back to creating what I was creating before. Or maybe it's just like, boom, light bulb turns on and this is what you are supposed to be doing. And all of a sudden your career takes off, or people start buying, you see an uptick in sales, or you start getting into some other gallery shows. Whatever it is you're trying to do, maybe that opens up for you. So just in this moment of inspiration that I'm having, I thought I would share that inspiration with all of you and kind of try to light that fire for you as well, which is get out there and do what really has been speaking to you. Maybe it's been speaking very quietly. Maybe it's been whispering. Maybe it's shouting. Maybe it's something that you've been suppressing. But now is the time to start listening to that, because we only live once, unless you believe in reincarnation. But let's just say for shits and giggles that we only live once, and at least as this type of person. And you want to make the most of it, right? You want to be doing what you are called to do, which is listening to that inner voice, being true to yourself, and kind of living your best artistic life. So get out there and do it. This is a short one. This is a fun one. Thanks for listening, as always, and thanks for putting up with some of the singing at the beginning. It always has a point, but thanks for letting me get that off my chest. And yeah, I can't wait to bring you this cool interview that's coming up that we had to reschedule. But stay tuned, stay excited, stay inspired, stay curious, and get out there and really create whatever is speaking to you. I promise you won't be disappointed. All right, see y'all later. Bye.
You're a baby of the babe.
No. We already did that.
The babe of the power.
Hello. Are you listening?
Power of voodoo.
You're not even doing it right. You're doing the wrong part.
You do.
All right. Do what?
Remind me of a babe. I saw my baby crying hard as babe could cry. What can I do?
Close
My
enough.
baby's loving God and left my baby.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.